There is an animal on this planet with 3 hearts. Its blood isn't red, it's blue. Hundreds of meters down, where no light reaches, it survives in frozen darkness. The giant squid. So many videos say, it evolved 3 hearts to withstand the crushing pressure of the deep. But that is not true. Stay to the end, and you'll learn what those 3 hearts are really for, and how different this sea monster is from the creature we imagined. Inside the giant squid are 3 hearts. 2 are branchial hearts, gill hearts, 1 under each gill. Their job is simple, to push oxygen-poor blood hard into the gills. The 3rd is the larger, stronger systemic heart at the body's center. It sends oxygen-rich blood out to the whole body. This heart has 3 chambers, 1 lower ventricle and 2 upper auricles. But the strangest part is the color of the blood. Our blood is red from iron-based hemoglobin, but the squid's uses a copper-based molecule, hemocyanin. When that copper binds with oxygen, the blood turns blue. 3 hearts, blue blood, that much most people know. But here's the real question, why would it ever need 3 hearts? Here comes the first twist, the 3 hearts did not come from life in the deep. The proof is simple. Octopuses, cuttlefish, tiny reef squid, every cephalopod has 3 hearts. Even the species living in bright, shallow water. So 3 hearts aren't a deep-sea weapon, but a blueprint inherited hundreds of millions of years ago. The real reason lies in that blue blood. Copper-based hemocyanin is less efficient at carrying oxygen than hemoglobin. How do you fix that weakness? You move the blood faster, and at higher pressure. That's why each gill gets its own dedicated pump. The 2 gill hearts push blood hard so the weak pigment can grab every last molecule of oxygen. The systemic heart is free to focus only on circulating blood through the body. It's an ancient division of labor for an active animal with weak blood. But another question rises, with blood that inefficient, how does it survive where oxygen is scarce? By common sense, weak blood should fail first where oxygen runs low. But hemocyanin has a twist of its own. This blue pigment actually works better in cold, low oxygen conditions. In the cold, its grip on oxygen grows stronger. In a sea where other animals would suffocate, the squid's blood stubbornly gathers what little oxygen there is. The blood we call the weakness becomes a strength in this cold, dark world. Now another myth, the pressure crushes its blood vessels. That's wrong. The giant squid usually lives between 300 and 1,000 meters, where pressure is about 100 times the surface. Enormous pressure, but there are almost no air-filled spaces inside its body. A soft, fluid-filled body simply reaches equilibrium with the surrounding water. It isn't crushed, it matches the pressure. So the 3 hearts are not armor against the deep. Now, the most shocking part, the very image of a sea monster may be almost entirely wrong. The Kraken dragging sailors under, tentacles crushing ships, the ocean's fastest killer. For ages, people imagined the giant squid as an aggressive apex predator. Even its 3 hearts were read as an engine built for high-speed pursuit. But in 2010, marine biologists Roy Rosa and Brad Seibel flipped that picture. Using the metabolism to size pattern of smaller relatives, they estimated the metabolism of its giant cousin, the colossal squid. The result was stunning. Its metabolic rate was far lower than expected. In Seibel's words, less a pursuer than a big blob just drifting in place. Rather than chasing prey, it floats and waits in the dark, then snatches with long tentacles, a classic ambush predator. The giant squid fits the same story. Cold water lowers its metabolism and lets it live on little food. There are counterarguments, though. Some enzyme data and live footage hint it may be more active. This debate is still unsettled. But the leading picture is this: the Kraken is no raging monster, but a huge, slow ambusher drifting through the dark, conserving energy. Which makes one thing very strange: if it doesn't chase prey, why such enormous eyes? Its eyes are nearly 30 centimeters across, the largest in the animal kingdom. If it doesn't chase prey, why does it need such huge eyes? The leading hypothesis: those eyes are not for finding prey, but for spotting what comes to eat it. In the deep, the giant squid has one great enemy, the sperm whale. As a sperm whale swims through the dark, tiny bioluminescent organisms around it flare in alarm. That faint wave of light, the giant can detect from tens of meters away. So the eyes are not a hunting tool but an early warning system for survival. 3 hearts, blue blood, basketball-sized eyes, all of it points not to a ruthless hunter, but to a giant being hunted by something larger. And one last secret. This enormous body lives astonishingly short. 13 meters long, nearly a ton, surely it lives for decades. But the estimates say the opposite, only about 5 years, maybe even less. How do we know? Inside the squid sits a tiny stone-like structure called a statolith. Like the rings of a tree, this stone is marked with growth lines. Scientists count those lines to read its age. The conclusion is clear: the giant squid builds that vast body in just a few years. It truly lives fast and dies young. And one small but striking fact. When it jets at full power, the great systemic heart that feeds the whole body briefly stops beating. Even stopping the heart, it pours all that energy into escape and thrust alone. A creature with 3 hearts will gladly silence one of them when the moment demands. Let's bring it together. The 3 hearts were never a weapon against pressure, but an ancient blueprint every cephalopod inherited to make up for weak, blue blood. The giant squid is no raging shipbreaker, but a huge, slow ambusher drifting through the cold dark, saving energy. Its basketball-sized eyes weren't searching for prey, but for the sperm whale hunting it. The monster we feared was really a creature being chased, living a short life. The true story is often stranger than the myth. So what do you think? Is the giant squid the monster we invented, or another survivor we've barely begun to understand? Leave your thoughts in the comments.